What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
UFC 246, Conor McGregor versus Donald Cowboy Cerrone just happened this January 18th from Las Vegas, Nevada. And it was a fun card. First card of the year. Is a nice little break. Definitely was ready for UFC fights to start up again. And a great card, I feel, to get the year going. Not necessarily a stacked card with names, but there were a lot of fun fights. I mean, the headliner, of course, pretty much selling everything. There were no belts on this card. Again, not a lot of big names. I mean, Holly Holm, Raquel Pennington, definitely the biggest names on the card, other than the main, and they were the co-main event. But that fight I wasn't necessarily excited about. But I was excited to see Conor McGregor come back. Only heard good things leading up to this, although prior to Conor McGregor fights in the past, there was always good things said, even though maybe not as truthful as they had appeared to be. But this one seemed to be legit. I mean, Conor looked amazing. Even in the interviews, he sounded calm. He sounded present. He didn't sound scatterbrained like he did, like 6 months ago. He did an interview with Ariel, and it was so scatterbrained. But yeah, he came in against Cowboy and pretty much, I mean, it was 40-second destruction. Tried to throw like the biggest Superman left hand punch to start the fight I've ever seen. Completely whiffed on it, but ended up in the clinch, and then shoulder strikes from hell busted up Cowboy's nose, which those shoulder strikes, they were legit. I mean, Conor's got those broad shoulders and the strong shoulders, so, slamming those things into a face, he was definitely busting him up. And then with the head kick, it was just Cowboy didn't even get a chance to get started in that fight. Just a dominant performance from McGregor, and excited to see what happens. I'd prefer to see him fight for the BMF belt. I mean, I think it would sell bigger. Conor versus Gamebred, but and I think that's not a bad matchup. Gamebred's another lightweight fighter that's fighting at 170, so he's a little undersized. I think he'll still be bigger than Conor, most likely, but I'd be excited to watch that fight, especially after that performance. You never know. I mean, especially if Conor stays focused, which it seems like he's taking this year to stay focused and fight active. He didn't take any damage in that fight, so that's what I'd rather see than instead of Kamaru Usman, whose Twitter got hacked during the fights, and I'm going to talk about that tomorrow and swipe up. But that was kind of a crazy thing to see unfold on Twitter. But yeah, so I'd rather see that than Kamaru Usman. I think there's other contenders in that weight class that I'd rather see Usman fight. But I don't know. Didn't they have? I mean, there's some people fighting that I think could get a chance at Usman. I don't know. As far as like what I would like to see Conor, who I'd like to see him fight, I don't necessarily think he should fight Khabib. Khabib is fighting Tony right now, so let's see how that shakes out. But I think a really fun fight would be him versus Gamebred. Bring that BMF belt back in. See what happens, that would be interesting. But yeah, so Conor, that was a great one. The Holly Holm fight versus Raquel Pennington. Like I said before the fight, Holly Holm, not an exciting fighter unless she's fighting somebody that she clearly has the striking advantage over. Like all she does is just hold people against the cage. At least in this time, while she was holding Raquel Pennington against the cage, she was added in some dirty boxing finally. In previous fights when she does that strategy, it's literally not. I mean, people were booing. And I think it's just a boring style. I think it's a boring style. She didn't try and go for takedowns. It was literally just holding her against the fence, landing some knees to the thighs and some, sneaky uppercuts or whatever, but not really doing a whole lot except for controlling. So, a very underwhelming co-main event. The Olynyk fight versus Maurice Green was crazy. Maurice Green, definitely looking dominant on the feet, but Olynyk, once he gets that grappling going, he had to work on it. It was a crazy kind of watching Maurice Green survive on the ground. Brian Kelleher getting a good win. Anthony Pettis getting another loss. The big one I was happy to see, Roxanne Modafferi versus Macy Barber. It was the feature bout in the prelims. Roxanne has been looking better and better since moving to Syndicate, and her striking is improving. She's getting faster, and she already had an amazing ground game. So, I mean, Barber's knee gave out, but she was getting lit up on the feet anyway. It was a great win. I guess the biggest underdog in the card got the biggest upset, Roxanne Modafferi. I wish I had put money on that. Tim Elliott, I thought, won the fight. In his fight, Andre Fili lost. So it's some good fights overall, but the main event was crazy. It was nice seeing Conor McGregor back. Feel bad for Donald Cerrone, but not the first time he's lost, and I hope he got a bigger chunk of money than what was disclosed. Just $200,000 to fight Conor. That hopefully he got millions for that fight. But next week we got a fight night, UFC Fight Night. Curtis Blaydes versus Junior Dos Santos, January 25th from Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm excited to see Curtis Blaydes. It'd be an interesting striker versus grappler. Blaydes has pretty much been dominant except for running into Ngannou's punching power. Also, Rafael Dos Anjos versus Michael Chiesa. That's a fun one in welterweight. Michael Chiesa seems like not very active. I don't know if he's had injuries or whatnot, but always great to watch. I think he's going to get it. But I don't know. That'll be a fun one. Both two guys formerly lightweight fighters that grew out of it. Arnold Allen versus Nick Lentz should be a fun one. So fun fights from North Carolina. ESPN Plus card, which is nice. You don't have to worry about all of the nonsense with the apps. Hopefully they get all of that figured out soon. I really hate the new UFC Fight Pass update. Let's just put it that way. I don't know. I'm going to have to mix up how I watch my fights here because they made some changes and it is ridiculous and very expensive now. So we'll see. But yeah, great night of fights. Looking forward to next week. That's it for this episode. New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on IGTV, YouTube, and everywhere else podcasts are found. Go buy my artwork over at inspireddisorder.com and save 25% when you use coupon code RTS. Follow me on social media at Ray Taylor. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out.